guys! Don't you guys ever wanted polar bears as pets? Most people from outside of Canada already assume we do, and of course that we live in an igloo. But the real question is, can our generation save the polar bears? So, although our generation is not likely to be guilty of eating the last wild polar bear, we're contributing to the rapid decline of these iconic creatures by our industrial emission we are constantly pumping into the atmosphere. So, first of all, let me go over the overview of what we'll be going to talk about today in this presentation. So, I'll be going over 4 topics. So, the first one is, how does climate change affect polar bears? So, the primary concern for polar bears today is first, the loss of their sea ice habitat. Second, reduced access to their primary prey. So, for more than 20 years, summer sea ice has been decreased in size dramatically, and ice has been melting longer than usual, which means polar bears are going to lose their home and have less access to their primary prey, so now they suffer in malnutrition and starvation. As you can see in the picture here, the polar bear is skinnier than what you would imagine it to look like. So, second thing is that they also suffer from more habitat fragmentation, which means as ice melts, there are going to be more opportunities for oil and gas development, and polar bears are affected by the shipping activities that are constantly increasing. So, second thing I'll talk about is this chart right here. I have a bar graph. It shows the global temperature, how it has increased significantly over the years. So it starts from 1940 and ends in 2010. And each block holds 10 years of data. So as you can see, starting 1980 onwards to 2010, the temperature has increased dramatically. So to end this graph, the period 2000 to 2010 has been the warmest decade on the record so far. So now let's move on to 4 sea ice region. First is the seasonal ice. So seasonal ice is located in Canada. So in seasonal ice, I would say it is polar bears in these areas are most endangered because ice in these areas melts completely in the summer. So bears are most endangered with longer ice-free season, testing their limit for their fat reserve that they save over time. So next is polar basin divergent ice. In these areas, polar bears are forced to come ashore. Then they come in contact with humans, which are never a good thing, and they also have to swim longer to find a new home. Next is polar basin convergent ice. So in this area right now is quite stable, but scientists predict in 75 years from now, the ice there will be completely gone and melted away, unless we do something about it. The last one is archipelago ice. In this area, this is an ecoregion that is likely to be where the last pack of wild polar bear will migrate to, because the ice remains along the coast even in the summer, which is great for the polar bear. So, the prediction for the future is, scientists predict 2/3 of the polar bear's population will be gone by 2050. But on top of that, 50 years later from that on, the population of polar bears will be gone completely, which means polar bears will be extinct by 2100. I have a bar graph here, a line graph here. It shows the population estimate of polar bear and how it decreased over time. So starting 1995 onwards, the population of polar bears continues to decline and is going to keep going down. So imagine what it is now in the year 2017. So I have a video right here. It shows the sea ice loss and how it's constantly melting away. So it starts from the year 1984, and I'll show you how there's a lot right here. It's constantly melting and building up again. But if we move forward to the year 2013 onwards, as you can see, it's getting less and less. And this video ends with the year 2016 of September. And how, if you look here, the ice is mostly half gone or even more than that, which is scary to see. So the next thing I want to talk to you about is how are we wasting energy? So our energy distribution in Canadian home is distributed by 63% is because of the heat that we are doing, so space heating. The second biggest one would be 17% goes to water heating, and the rest is for lighting, space cooling, and appliances. So lastly, how can we get involved? It's really easy, it's free, it's simple, and it's going to save polar bears. So it is a 2 up or 2 down polar bear challenge. All you have to do is set your thermostat 2 or more, or at least 2 degrees. So by setting that up, you can help reduce the greenhouse gas pollution as well as, of course, saving polar bears in the future. For each degree a thermostat is adjusted, if the setback period is 8 hours long, a family, a school, or even a business can save 1% of the cost. And of course, like I said, more importantly, this will help reduce the greenhouse gas pollution we are adding. So I just want to add this presentation by saying it's sad that we can't have polar bears as pets, but think about how we can prevent the polar bear extinction from going faster than it already is. Thank you for your time, and I hope you enjoyed this presentation.